Well, hey there, 586ers, week 3. Woo! You've made it. Discussion board posts are looking fantastic. Week 3 is fun. And I know a bunch of people, the stuff you have to read, because I don't make the course. So, I look at the week and go, hey, here's what someone else designed for you. So I'll just go kind of in chronological order based on the week 3 module. So the ISTE standards, I almost want to not introduce them to you like in this context because for me, I always thought of the ISTE standards as like this thing we had to do when I was taking grad classes. Here's my technology. Here's my ISTE standards. That's lame. But as it turns out, like if you can kind of take your student hat off, this is what a hat looks like. Not very good at any sort of charades, but let's go with it. And if you can actually look at it from, just how do I integrate technology in the classroom? And you weren't in this course right now. The ISTE standards are actually really cool. They're really stinking cool. There's standards for teachers, for students, for coaches, for administrators. There's a bunch of different standards. They semi-recently revamped the standards, and they're really useful. It's when I transitioned from being a classroom teacher to senior administrator, I stumbled upon the standards. I think I was teaching a course and clicked on the ISTE standards for admin. I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed. There were a couple things that I kind of was already doing. I was able just to tweak. So for an example, one thing you'd see on the admin ISTE standards that you don't see in the other ones is modeling effective tech use. So whenever faculty need to do something, I make sure that if I need to teach them something, I'm teaching them with a tool or in a way that I want them to do with their students, kind of a Russian nesting dolls thing. So like a simple example is if we need to learn Google Classroom, they will learn it in Google Classroom, right? Makes sense? So try not to write off the ISTE standards as another kind of hassle thing that you have to do just because you're taking a grad class. They're good. They're really, really good. So discussion boards are pretty straightforward. There is a video to watch from Diana Laufenberg. She actually keynoted Fall Q. It's going to be up in Nap at the end of October, and you should totally go. I'll be there. We can hang out in real life as opposed to the awkwardness that is you watching a video of me talking in an empty room. But anyway, Diana keynoted Fall Q, I think a year and a half ago now. We hung out for a while. She's super cool. Has a good head on her shoulders. So give her a follow on whatever social media you happen to be on. As my mom calls it, the Twitters. That's a good one. She is awesome. She has a TED Talk. You're going to watch that and then talk about it in the discussion board. So I look forward to hearing a little bit about that. So the assignment, you're going to design a student project. And the whole idea is to get away from just kind of a simple recipe. It even talks about that in the directions. So please, while I'm thinking of it, look over the Google Doc that is the assignment description and definitely look at the rubric. In fact, I would have the rubric open in one tab, have a Google Doc as you're writing out the lesson plan in another tab, and go back and forth to make sure that you're addressing everything on the rubric, because that's how I grade it, and that way it tends to be a bit more cohesive. So you don't want to just make a simple recipe that students can follow. In fact, do I have that book over here? The Classroom Chef. I just loaned it to someone. John Stevens just wrote a book. So if you're a math teacher or you know a math teacher, buy the book, The Classroom Chef. It's a whole cooking theme thing that John Stevens, Matt Vaudrey do. It's good stuff. So buy that book, share it with a math friend. But the idea of this assignment is not to make a simple recipe that a student can follow. It's to design a lesson that students are going to have to create something, right? So it's a bit more open-ended. You're able to personalize it a bit more than you would in a more traditional, like Madeline Hunter, 7-step lesson plan where it's very like paint by number. So we're getting away from the MH7 I have a friend, John Carippo. Do you know him? He works for Q. He's a director of professional learning. He calls it the MH7. So we're gonna blow up the MH7. Uh, I'm just scrolling down, looking at the screen, talking to you about it a little bit. That reading, Fight Plagiarism with Creativity. That was actually written by Dennis Grice. He's a good friend. He used to be tech director in Orange and moved to Asia. So he's in Korea teaching at an independent school, an international school. It's He's a good guy. So give him a follow. Definitely read that. It's good stuff. Um, he is quite smart. So that's what's going on next week, or I guess this coming week. It's week 3. It kicks off on September 5th. Super quick reminders: initial posts for the discussion are due on Thursday, and then 2 replies by the following Sunday. If you're not sure what you've done or what you haven't done, if you look in the sidebar and scroll down a little bit under the heading Course Items, you can go to My Grades, and it will show you what you have done, what I have already graded, and what has been submitted. So yeah, we're gonna have a good time. One more quick thing. I think my last video I did at my house. Here is the tech office. Can I give you a quick tour? Of course I can. You're not here. You don't get a say. Sorry. So hang on. Let's do it from where we walk in. You ready for this? All right. So I'm gonna be walking backwards a little bit. Here's the tech office. Oh, hello there, President Obama, talking about coding, right? Oh, hello, Nobel Peace Prize winner, talking about why girls need to code. Let's move on. So here is the tech office. I'm going to crash into something at some point. The goal is to make this a collaborative space, and I think one thing technology enables us to do much more so than ever before is has flexibility in classrooms. So I tried to make the tech office that. So when you first walk in to the right, we have kind of a triage desk. There's some laptops, some cool stuff over there. Here's where I was sitting to grade your assignments and shoot the video. Actually, I lied. I was rotate all the way around, make you a little bit sick. I was sitting right there. Yeah, so we have a couch. The goal is for it to be just a nice collaborative space. Yeah, so this is the tech office. Welcome. Have fun on week 3. And over here, this is every product Apple's ever made. And then some nice invisible shelves. See, was that book that I was just talking about? Nah, I shared it out. It was right here. Anyway, these are some great books. You should just pause this and buy all those books because they're great. Yeah, all right. Happy week 3, everybody.